All right, I'm gonna do a little thoughts video, not an AAR, but just my thoughts after the game. And I, like everyone else, like, oh, I'm gonna put up an AAR, and like maybe I do, maybe I don't. It's very hard as a commander to do an AAR when it's really nice just to do little thoughts at a time. But I would like to get an AAR up. First thing, thank you Cobalt, thank you Kira, thank you Stag Ops, all the staff, Corsair, NAA, IROPS, UBG. UBG is on to bigger and better things. Excuse me, I know Will and Anthony and the rest of the UBG staff, like, they're not going to stop here. This is the foundation, and they're on to bigger and better things. And they always have the customer in mind. This year, I should say, once Will started managing, and helping out Bob, and that the business has just taken off, and one of the best years ever. And it's really sad that it was kind of cut down in its prime. It's super unfortunate, but I know this isn't going to stop, those guys from pushing forward and persevering, and making sure they give us the best product they can. And I want to thank those guys and everyone that had anything to do with putting this game on, and Tiger and Sisu and the rest of Green Command staff. And you guys gave us a great fight. It was tough. I probably say this after every game, but that one was the toughest, and for a number of reasons. So I guess I'll go right into that. I think everyone on that staff faction, I'm really, really good friends with, and I told them this after the game, and I'm going to be completely honest. Boomer and I, when I first started XOing for Boomer, we had the idea that at some point we were going to Colonel Kurtz, KOFOR, and that we were going to go and help the civilians build an army and help fight the MILFOR, GRUFOR, or KOFOR, and we were going to do right by the civilians. A big reason why I've never mortared a structure or killed civilians. It's just I've always wanted to be for the civilians, to defend their homeland from everyone, from pillaging and taking their natural resources. And so a few years ago, even, we kind of put it into a game where we wanted to force Gordon's hand a bit into doing this, and didn't work out then. But I made another video where I explain and plead my case, and we've done all these things. Like, we'll do this third faction. In practice, it is a completely different animal. In theory, it's really cool, and you can say, oh, I'm going to be even in my killings, equal opportunity and very neutral. And that's, you say that, but in practice, it's completely different. It's a completely different animal. And it just sucked. It sucked having to deal with it. It was a game mechanic that I don't think anyone on TAN after the event wanted. During the event, maybe after the event, because we had completed so many missions or done so many things to actually prove, like, hey, we're doing a lot for you guys. And so they helped out at the end because we had completed those missions. But during the event with the third faction, it was brutal. And it was definitely Green's strategy this time around. I could tell, very obvious, that they were trying to spawn camp us, and it worked. It did. It was painful. It was. Every time that Humvee pull around on that straightaway and just look right into our spawn, and they definitely had the field boundary well within their maximum engagement distance, and it was a kick in the balls. Um, and then just like sneaking out of our spawn in that woods area, because you guys had the town. God bless you, play in the town, have at it. But for us to get out, it was just brutal getting out, and then to be waxed. Oh, we finally made it past green. We're gonna get in the field, and then get just gunned down by third faction guys. And like, sorry, it was a kick in the nuts, and I'm saying that objectively, and this helps the next event. I don't know at Tolcom how you're gonna get vehicles in there. Field is brutal, but this only helps for the next iteration. It's a learning experience. It's learning from our mistakes, and I think that's going to be a bigger point of this video: learning from our mistakes. So, third faction, I think you guys, in theory, it was supposed to be cool and fun, and I don't think anyone on TAN thought so. I think they thought it was just a detriment, and it tied us down. And I get you guys were looking for green too, but you always found us. And I hope they have like a kill counter, because even afterwards they were like, we killed platoons of tan and like only maybe a few squads of green, and it was tough. It was tough. But anyway, learning from our mistakes. I had a great time at this event, and then Monday afternoon, I'm at work, and I get a text message from Jim, APOC. We have a problem. Call me. And anytime I see that, I start freaking out. Like, what the hell? What do we have a problem? How could we have a problem? And he's like, call me, and I do, and he's like, there's a video of some guys that don't play at the field, or don't play this event, whatever, and they're sharing, they're taking dead bandages or bandages off of dead players, and they're giving it to new players. I'm like, all right, just, the rule book's been out. You don't read the rule book, you pay the price. People that should have known the rules didn't know the rules, or whatever. You break the rules, you pay the price. That's how I feel. Whether you're wearing tan, green, pink, purple, whatever. You break the rules. Rulebook's been out for how many games? Only slight changes to it, but you can't take dead bandages off of dead players. Fine. For people like Dingo to be called a cheater, the three nice guys of this game series, for me, Boomer, Hollywood, and Dingo. That's the Mount Rushmore of nice guys, in my opinion. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. But for Dingo to be caught up in this too, APOC's a nice guy and he understands the rules. I didn't see the video. I'm going off of what I've heard from APOC, Dingo, and now Cobalt. There is a fine line between we want a right to be wronged and we want blood. And I think we see that a lot today in our culture, but that's a different story, where we want blood more than we actually want justification, or we want a problem to be fixed. It's an airsoft game. You break the rules, you pay the price. But at some point, I don't think we have to keep going after people that weren't involved and dragging them into the problem. Cobalt got home, I believe, last night, and now he's dealing with this. It sucks. It's a shitty thing that people broke the rules. But I think we have to look at this objectively. Do we want a problem to be fixed, or we just want to see people hang? And it would be the same as because I haven't seen any videos. I'm just going off of what I'm hearing. And it sounds like we want blood. And it would be the same if my guys were just like, we want blood. We want these people tried, hanged, and fucking whatever. I get it. You broke the rules. You break the rules, you pay the price. But do you want the problem solved, or you just want to see people hang? There's a difference. And then at the same time, it's like, did you have fun at the event, or are you going to let this, something you weren't a part of or that you saw afterwards, dictate the fun that you had at the event? And that may upset a lot of people. But if you had fun at the event and you weren't part of the issue, and you're letting that dictate now, after the event, the amount of fun you had, I think that's incorrect. I think that's completely wrong, and we shouldn't go about playing airsoft that way. You break the rules, you pay the price. And that's it. But I think we're dragging people into this, and it's getting crazy, the kind of things I'm hearing about this. And I think people need to like take a step back and just be like, what do we want out of this? And I'm not a part of it. Like, I'm not a part of I'm not one who has to apologize for anything. I wasn't caught up in any action. I am going to defend my guys. They broke the rules. They pay the price, however. It is what it is. But I think there's a limit to it, and how far we need to push, and how we need to disrupt people's personal lives for an airsoft game and an incident which took place 2 days ago in an airsoft game in which some people were not a part of. And those are my thoughts on that. Otherwise, I thought it was a great game. I didn't have to deal with any calls. B Ken, someone did this, call commands, call stag ops, do this, do that. I didn't have any complaints, to deal with, or, deal with is the best word I can think of there. I think everyone played a real clean game. There are some complaints of mine, but you know what? It's an airsoft game. You gotta, like Gordon says at PCI, you gotta fucking adapt and overcome. And if you don't, probably not the game for you. Things suck. You're supposed to feel like you're getting your ass beat the whole weekend. It's what happens. That's what makes this game great. Is that aspect of it where you're just like, we're fucking losing the whole time, man. We got to push harder. And that's what I love about my guys. I love the community, everyone that's like, we can't let down anyone. We got to just push harder. We got to be better. We got to learn from our mistakes. That's human nature, is learning from your mistakes and being better. Because if you don't, then you're wrong. Learn from your mistakes and get better. That's all. Tolcom though, excited for that. Play two events a year from BAE. They do some great NOM events at Tolcom. That field will kick your ass. So definitely get your cardio in if you're interested, because I saw a lot of green guys. I was kind of like geeking out. I saw some dudes with like M56 gear, M67 gear. If you're into NOM soft and stuff like that, I definitely like to get in touch, or to see you at some of these NOM games, World War II games. I'm a big airsoft guy, and anyone that knows me will tell you that. But definitely reach out if you're interested in those types of events. I'll definitely chat with you and help you find gear or whatever. But yeah, I just want to thank everyone for this this game. Had a great time. Looking forward to Tolcom. Um, I don't know if who I'm fighting next time, or maybe I'm not. I don't know. It's 2 days after the event, but I think Derek and Sisu, you guys are a great opponent, and you definitely kick us in the ass, and you make it hard, you make it challenging. So, looking forward to play you guys again, if that is the way it is, or whatever happens. But yeah, have a good night, everyone, and have fun. It's airsoft. Love each other. Be good to each other.